During one of the first trailers for Breath of the Wild, I had this certain expectation. The moment I saw the sprawling ocean, I thought, ooh, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and this desire to sail those open seas in an open world fashion, in an open air fashion. But alas, it was not meant to be, for the ocean travel was a bit shallow, not intended. All we got was a boat and a leaf, which is kinda like Wind Waker. But then Tears of the Kingdom emerged. They had a large emphasis on the sky, which I was quite excited for. I was hoping for the return of the Loft Wings, but oh well. What we got next was kind of the next best thing. We have this open-ended vehicle customization. And then I realized, I can make a boat. I can sail across the seas. But unfortunately, there wasn't much to do. And making a boat was kind of difficult. Which got me thinking, we all have been thinking the same thing. We all want a trilogy. We all want a sequel to Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know about you guys. I want a return to a Wind Waker-like exploration. I want to sail the open seas, but with the open air concept of Breath of the Wild and all the new physics mechanics we got from Tears of the Kingdom. I want a sequel to Tears of the Kingdom that is a grand adventure across the sea. One that harkens back to Wind Waker and Link's Awakening, while maintaining the philosophy of the new games, and continuing the story, if possible. I'm going to go into detail about this idea, but I just want to let you know that I recently had a revelation that turned the idea on its head. I'll get more into it further along in the video. I haven't really thought about story too much. This idea is mostly conceptual. A broad concept that combines two of my favorite Zeldas. Imagine a large sprawling ocean, lots of islands speckled throughout, hopefully with more substance than Wind Waker's islands and Tears of the Kingdom's Sky Islands. I wouldn't want to lose all of the traversal and climbing mechanics from Breath of the Wild, so ideally we would want to have a handful of large islands that we can still roam about and maybe climb mountains, and hell, maybe a sky island or two. Perhaps a Death Mountain-like volcano could be the center of this ocean. Maybe it could contain the final dungeon. And then of course throughout the different corners of the sea we would have larger islands to explore. But between those islands we would have many islands of substance, many things to do, many people to see, maybe the many settlements of the different races of Hyrule. I'm not suggesting that Hyrule has been flooded, just that perhaps Link and Zelda have decided to go off on this adventure to discover new things, maybe some way to help revitalize Hyrule and push it past its former glory. We'll get more into that in a bit. I thought it would also be kind of neat to continue this sort of ancient tech with every game. Breath of the Wild had the Sheikah technology, Tears of the Kingdom had the Zonai technology. Maybe this new game, I gotta come up with a name for this. It'll make it so much easier. I'll just call it the sequel for now. The sequel could have ancient Zora tech, technology used by Zoras that mastered the ocean. I thought it was a pretty cool idea conceptually. What better way to master the oceans ourselves, while also sticking to the themes of ancient technology and using the knowledge of the past? What about like Waves of the Broken Sea? I'll workshop that. You guys can come up with something in the comments, let me know below. If I think of anything else during this video, I'll say it. Instead of Tears of the Kingdom's concept of building anything from scratch out of random junk, I thought in this we could start with a tiny little ship, and then as we progress through the game, we could add things to it. And maybe by the end, we could have a massive ship, possibly with a massive crew. A massive crew built up of Rito and Gorons and Koroks, Hylians, possibly some new peoples and new cultures and new races. But this is where it gets interesting. So with Breath of the Wild and even Tears of the Kingdom, people were speculating, are we gonna go underwater? Why can't we go underwater? In this game, you will go underwater. Perhaps there could be segmented areas where Link could go scuba diving, similar to Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Or perhaps our ship, being ancient Zora technology, can submerge into the water, revealing an underwater world. You could also call this the depths, similar to Tears of the Kingdom's depths. Instead of pockets of Hylian settlements, there could be pockets of Zora settlements. I really like the idea of a Zora-focused game. So we have our surface, which contains all of our little islands, and then we have our depths, which contains the underwater exploration. So maybe you're thinking, oh, well, we gotta have a sky. We have to have a third level like Tears of the Kingdom. And I thought the same thing. And I thought, well, you could do sky islands, right? But then I just thought of something the other day. What if, instead of having we have our floor 1, which is the surface, floor 2, which is the sky, and a bottom floor, which is the depths. What if this game, it's floor 1, the surface, bottom floor 1, underwater, and then bottom floor 2, the deepest recesses of the ocean. The Mariana Trenches of the Hylian Sea, if you will. I think this has the potential to be more fun than the depths, and far scarier. Being underwater is already scary enough. Imagine going into the deepest, darkest recesses of the ocean. I don't know about you, but it's one of the most terrifying things I can imagine. But Travis, how is our submarine going to fit into those depths? Can our submarine even survive in those depths? Forget the submarine. The submarine isn't going into the depths. We are in a special Zora suit designed to survive in the deepest, darkest recesses under the greatest pressures. This suit will be able to traverse those depths using pressurized air to get little boosts so we're not walking around with iron boots on. Just today, I thought of an idea to expand this even more. What if, in those deep dark depths, there are caves that lead to giant air pockets with new explorable areas? There's so many possibilities. I don't even know if Nintendo could pull this off with their current hardware. There's just so much potential for this idea, and I've been thinking about it for a while. This also opens up so many avenues for overworld bosses that go beyond just giant squids. There are countless mythological sea monsters that we could go off of to make anything. Maybe even some underwater ancient Zora tech that we could fight, similar to Tears of the Kingdom's constructs. The more I think about this idea, the more I'm going to be disappointed when Nintendo doesn't do it. But a man can dream. I've talked about all the dangers in the depths, but the surface world has so many potential too, mainly in the form of pirates. How cool would it be to have ship-on-ship warfare with pirate ships full of monsters? Maybe there can be an overarching villain that torments you throughout the game, constantly chasing you across the seas. I think that would be nice, considering we didn't have an overarching villain in Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. We had Ganondorf's big return, but we didn't really have a villain tormenting us throughout the story. Everything he did was in the ancient past, or something he orchestrated, but we didn't really get to see him or speak to him or interact with him until near the end of the game. I want somebody like Zant from Twilight Princess, or Ganondorf from Ocarina of Time, or Majora from Majora's Mask. Give me something like that, but make it an evil pirate. I'm not sure how you could connect him back to Ganondorf at this point, seeing as how the first two games were so heavily connected to Ganondorf. But I suppose that doesn't mean this third game has to be connected to him. It just would be nice to have that thematic through line. Hey, was anybody else disappointed that there wasn't a pirate ship dungeon in Wind Waker? Well, we can have it now. Ooh, I just thought of another name. Treasure of the Broken Sea. Broken because it's being pillaged by pirates, and it's dark times, but also broken because there's large crevices in the sea where all the ocean water's falling in. Those could be where the deep, deep trenches are forming. And this could also tie back into the whole pirates thing I came up with earlier, where Link in Zelda, I would think it would be cool if Zelda was also on this journey with us. If Link and Zelda were competing with these pirates to find this grand treasure, one piece that could bring peace to the land of the outset islands rule, whatever we want to call this. I don't know. Tell me in the comments below what we should call this set of islands. The Broken Islands, the Lost Islands of Hyrule. You guys can do it. I believe in you. I cannot stress enough that the possibilities are endless. I could sit here and come up with 1,000 more ideas. I am in love with this concept. And if it's not a sequel to Tears of the Kingdom, I just hope we get another seafaring Zelda game one day that comes anywhere close to my expectations, which I know is asking for a lot. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my rambling, and I hope I sparked your imaginations. Please like and share this video. It's great for the algorithm. Comment down below and tell me your ideas for this new game, or what you hope we see for the future of Zelda. Do you want a sequel to Tears of the Kingdom? Or do you want a whole new Zelda game? Or do you want to expand on my idea? Let me know in the comments below. And last but not least, please, please, please consider subscribing. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. My goal is to get monetized this year, and you can help me with that. Pretty please. Thanks for watching, everybody. I super duper appreciate it. This was a blast, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.